So in this video, we're going to proceed to a more sophisticated visualization on a world map using very sophisticated data. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to load in the data set. Okay? So we have to upload it first, and the data set that we're uploading is this EQ data set. So you'll notice that this EQ data set is not in CSV format. It's what's called JSON format. And what we're going to be doing here is something a little bit sophisticated when we're just reading in the file. So the first thing that we're doing is we're importing these two libraries, so the JSON, and then we're also importing this pathlib, okay? And what we're doing is figuring out how we are going to load things in. So what we do first is we say, here's the name of the file, and we're going to create what's called the path to it. And then this is going to read in the text. And then after we've read in the text and we've put it in contents, we are going to go ahead and rewrite it back out. Okay? So we basically convert it using this JSON loads, and then we're going to change the file name, right? We're going to call it something different so to distinguish it from the overall file. And then we're going to go ahead and dump it using this JSON format. And the reason that we're doing all of this is so that we can read the file using our own eyes, okay? So let's go ahead and run this, okay? And you see that it has now run, okay? And now that it has run, we can start looking at it. Okay, so this code is in readable contents. This file is in readable contents. So let's just take a look at it. Okay, so you see this JSON format here, and you see that it has this curly bracket at the start, and then it has this set of what's called fields. So it has a field called type, has a field called metadata, generated, URL, title, status, API. So this is a way to encode a data set. Okay? And so let's look at some more of it. So we're going to explore this data set, and we're going to change 300 to 1,000. So we look at more elements of the data set. Okay, here we have features. So this is going to be an earthquake data set. So it's magnitude of 1.6. The place was here, the time was here, it was updated at this time. And what you see here that's different from a table is that it has substructure, right? So here we start off with this curly brackets at the top, and at the top level we have type, metadata, and features, but then within metadata we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 further features, right? And then within features we have all of these other things as well, okay? And so it's nested. It's like an outline. It's a hierarchy. It's not simply a file with rows and columns, okay? And so then what JSON allows us to do, and Python allows us to do, is that we can then select very particular things from this by simply looking and saying metadata generated, for example. And then we can select that in the same way that we would select a particular row and column, okay? So this is just a very sophisticated way of storing a data set. It's called JSON, which you can see here, JSON, and that's pronounced JSON. So now that we've read in the file, what we are going to do is we're going to manipulate the data. We're going to do some pre-processing of the data and getting it ready to actually plot on a chart.